Storm Tracker 22 forecast, certified most accurate by WeatherAid.
We are now 2 months into the 2026 hurricane season. Already had a couple of storms get named, but right now the tropics nice and quiet. In fact, no development expected in the next 5 to 7 days. There's some good news for you. Now here at home, it's going to be a bit of an active forecast. Already seeing some showers on the radar. You can see that coming up from the southwest, and heavy downpours going to be a possibility with this. As you take a look at Futurecast, we get into 4, 5, 6 o'clock. There's the heavy downpours, those darker colors. You can see quite a bit of rain moving through, and we all have that chance, about 60 to even 70%. Now, any one of these storms that does get going, it's going to have the potential for some strong to damaging winds as well. We could see some localized flooding with this, with those pockets producing heavy downpours for you through the day. Frequent lightning also going to be a thing that's going to be possible. Now, in the overnight hours, we watch those shower chances go down for us, but we're going to keep those shower chances around every day of the next several days. We're going to have that possibility, but temperatures actually falling off a little bit behind this activity. Now, right now, it is going to be one of those days where you might want to have some backup plans, though, inside, thanks to those showers really starting about 3 o'clock, ramping up, and then starting to slow down as we get into the evening. But those strong winds and heavy downpours going to be a distinct possibility for all of us across the area. And you can see the cloud coverage as we look live from the Eastern Wharf there at the Thompson Hotel. Look at these temperatures that you're walking out the door to. It is a sticky start. Mid to upper 70s, feeling like the low 80s out of the coastline. And Futurecast showing you that we quickly watch those temperatures get into that triple digit feel-like region with that moisture. That's going to be a big factor for you. Even this evening, taking the dog for one last walk before you settle in, still feeling like it's in the mid to upper 90s. Now, tomorrow, slightly cooler. We're actually going to see a return to the 80s out at the coastline. But Tia, check out these overnight lows hanging out in the mid 70s, even upper 70s, very close to where we should be this time of year. In fact, even those daytime highs going to be close to where we should be this time of year. Those rain chances, very summer-like as well. Sticking around today at that 60% chance, and then tomorrow we're going to have that 40% and then 30. So as the kids are heading back to school, when they get off the bus the next several days, we could have those showers and storms popping up across the area. In fact, out at the coastline, you too have that 60% today, sticking around all the way through this 10-day forecast. Daytime highs back into the upper 80s for you, though. We do see warmer weather trying to work its way back by next weekend, Tia. And out at the coast, walking out the door to close to 80.
Melissa, thank you. And speaking of showers and storms, right now in Bullitt County, officials are hoping rain in the forecast this weekend will help lower the fire risk. And this was the scene earlier this week as firefighters battled wildfires in the area. As you can see, multiple smoke coming from the tree lines here in Bullitt County. You can see that fire line right there. And this week, Bullitt County leaders also approved a countywide burn ban. As WJCL 22 News' Grace Rodriguez reports, officials are urging people to avoid activities that could spark another fire.
The burn ban does not have an end date. County leaders are asking people to hold off on any burning until conditions improve. They say Bullitt County has been one of the driest areas in Georgia this summer. Firefighters are still monitoring last week's wildfire, with some areas continuing to smolder. County Commission Chairman David Bennett is also asking people to avoid using equipment that could create a spark, including lawnmowers, chainsaws, and weed eaters. Officials are also reminding drivers pulling trailers to make sure safety chains are not dragging on the road, since dry grass can catch fire quickly. In Bullitt County, Grace Rodriguez, WJCL 22 News.
Grace, thank you. And over the past week, multiple lightning-caused wildfires have kept firefighters and emergency responders busy across southeast Georgia as the Georgia Forestry Commission crews work to contain the fires. And now to the extreme fire danger across the Pacific Northwest. More than 50 million Americans from California to Montana are under heat alerts. Hot, dry, and windy conditions are fueling dozens of wildfires, forcing evacuations in several states. ABC's Allison Cossack has more.
In Washington state, a statewide burn ban ordered amid a dozen wildfires. the governor activating the National Guard to support firefighting operations. Outside Spokane, a fast-moving wildfire burning thousands of acres, sparking evacuations. State officials say thousands of structures are threatened by the Old Trails fire, one of 3 in the area. The Maudrite fire also burning more than 40,000 acres, forcing evacuations. Fire retardant dropped from planes to battle the flames. Further south, more than half of Oregon enduring severe drought conditions, with at least 30 large fires burning, including the Roe Creek Complex fires. On board the International Space Station, an astronaut sharing this photo of a massive plume of smoke stretching across Oregon. In southeastern Idaho, the fast-moving Big Rock fire has charred more than 1,000 acres, threatening nearby communities. Meantime, in Northern California outside Santa Rosa, firefighters battling the Woodside fire, encountering walls of thick smoke and flying embers. The flames fueled by hot, dry, and windy conditions.
The dry trees definitely contributed to a lot of spot fires. That's where the challenges were.
Those extreme temperatures extending to Southern California, where beachgoers are also being warned of rough surf and dangerous rip currents.
I don't go anything beyond where I can easily stand.
Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Time is now 6:18. A back-to-school staple could be putting a strain on your child's neck, shoulders, and back. The warning signs to watch for ahead.
Welcome into sports. I'm Corey Howard. You probably heard me say it once before, but I'll say it again. The high school football season is right around the corner, and some of the teams are kicking off their season in less than 2 weeks. But 12 teams from around the area sharing their expectations during Media Day. Media Day taking place at the mighty 8th Air Force Museum. The first team to grace the podium, Calvary Day, who finished as the private state runner-ups.
That's the biggest thing, is just understanding that they're not going to invite us back this year. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn it.
Even though they didn't win, the Cavs are still in a good position, returning 19 starters.
We all know what it takes to make it to the state championship. Now we know how it feels to lose that game. So really just, building off that.
Also the Class 4A state runner-ups in the house, the Benedictine Cadets, hoping to return to the promised land this year and win it for the first time since 2022.
Very proud of the year. We've learned that we can compete with anybody, and just to go play, work like they know to go work like we've taught them to work, and they've seen in the past it can be successful.
However, one local state champion in attendance, the Bethesda Blazers, who finished the 2025 season undefeated and are now moving up in classification.
This year now we get a chance to play against, we're in 3A now, so we haven't done anything in 3A, which means we have another milestone.
For the players, many of them just hoping to make memories that will last a lifetime.
This is our last year in football. It's just the truth. This is it. So I think we want to go out on a strong note and have fun with it. We only get so many more games left, and it's a sad thing to say at the same time, but I think we're going to play as hard as we can, and I think that's one thing we learned from last year, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Words that would be music to the ears of former All-American and current Georgia Bulldog Elijah Griffin, who recently expressed his love for the Friday Night Lights to his former high school coach.
He told me the other day, he said, Coach, college football is awesome, but he says nothing like high school football. Yeah. And so, hopefully high school kids can hear that and not take it for granted that they're able to play on Friday nights, because he gets to run out in front of 100,000 people in Sanford Stadium, and he's still saying, hey, I'd like to come back and play high school football. So that's special.
That's a look at sports. Keep it here.
Let's take a look outside in the low country. This shot coming in from beautiful Beaufort. You see Woods Memorial Bridge there. Already seeing several folks out and about this morning. Now, notice the clouds out there. That is going to be a common theme through the day. And wet roads, also going to be a common theme with scattered showers this morning, and watching those rain chances really start to go up as we get into the second half of the day. But if you still want to head out to the beach, well, make sure you got the water bottle, because it's going to be a warm one, 91 that feels more like 105. Now, getting out on the boat with friends and family, small craft advisory. We're going to have some breezy southwest winds today. So, Tia, you might want to just stay at the beach, and if you do venture into the water, be careful, because with that small craft advisory, we also have an elevated risk for rip currents. If you get caught in one, don't try to swim back to the shore. Swim parallel with it until you get out of that current.
Melissa, thank you. Well, with kids going back to school starting Monday, parents are likely grabbing all the new supplies students might need, and that may include a new backpack. But experts are issuing a reminder there is a right and a wrong way to wear one, and the wrong fit could lead to pain and posture problems later on. In this week's Medical Minute, WJCL 22 News' Sabrina Lee breaks it down for us.
Backpacks are a back-to-school staple, but when they're too heavy or worn the wrong way, they can put extra strain on a child's neck, shoulders, and back. Josh Harless is an occupational therapist with Beaufort Memorial. He says one of the biggest problems he sees is poor posture.
If poor posture continues, can cause big-time issues, can cause pain, decreased strength.
Harless says parents should be on the lookout for signs like neck, arm, or back pain or changes in posture. That includes rounded shoulders, craning necks, or a child's head leaning too far forward.
If a kid has pain in neck, arms, back, that's definitely a sign.
So how can parents help? Start with the fit. Harless says backpacks should be pulled tight and worn close to the body, not hanging low and loose.
It can't hang too far. The closer we can get it to fit, the better.
He also says kids should use both straps.
So using both straps helps keep the weight in midline.
Weight matters too. Harless recommends regular backpack cleanouts, taking out old papers, extra supplies, and anything students don't need that day. And for students with laptops, a separate laptop bag may help reduce the load. The bottom line, if your child is complaining of pain or you notice their posture changing, it may be time to check the weight and fit of their backpack. Be sure to stay tuned each week for a new Medical Minute, airing Thursdays at 4 p.m. Sabrina Lee, WJCL 22 News.
Sabrina, thank you. The time is now 6:26. Coming up in our next half hour, a potential shift in the conflict with Iran. President Trump says the U.S. is pausing further attacks as diplomatic efforts continue. What the White House says about the path forward.
Savannah and the Lowcountry. You're watching WJCL 22 Morning News, the one to watch.
Right now on WJCL 22 Morning News, new developments in a shooting that injured 3 people. 5 suspects now face charges. We break down who they are and what they're accused of.
I'm here today because I'm answering President Trump's call to serve.
Plus, GOP candidates in South Carolina's special U.S. Senate race are making their case to voters. A look at who's on the campaign trail. Against Iran for now, we're live with the progress he's reporting on a deal. First, here's a live look from our Skyview 22 camera at the Thompson Hotel of downtown Savannah. Still no sunshine quite yet. Actually looks a little hazy, Melissa, a little, cloudy. I feel like
a little gloomy.
Yeah, it looks a little gloomy today. That's the word, gloomy. Thanks so much for starting your day with WJCL 22 News. Good morning. I'm Tia Maggio, and joining me is, you heard her, meteorologist Melissa Hall. Melissa, we were just looking at our Skyview cam of downtown Savannah. Yeah, it's looking quite gloomy out today. I know you're tracking some showers potentially.
Yeah, and we've already seen some showers, Tia, and that's just going to be increasing as the day goes on. You can see that energy coming up from the Gulf, and like like I said, some of us might be walking out the door to some wet roadways. That's the case up in Beaufort, and most of us just getting some light rain right now. But look up in the low country. See that yellow and orange? Those are the heavy downpours, and that is just going to keep coming and increasing as we get into the day. So let's look over in the low country there from Harbortown's lighthouse. The clouds are out, but that hasn't stopped things from feeling sticky. 79 feels like 82 as you're getting out. Now, right now, just a southwest breeze, 7 miles an hour, but we do have a small craft advisory out there because those winds, they're going to be whipping at times, especially out at the coastline, 15 to 20 and gusting closer to 25, even 30 miles an hour at times for you. Mid to upper 70s and low 80s is what it feels like. Want to get together and have brunch with the friends? Well, scattered storms are going to be coming into play for us. I'm going to have the details of that. We'll take a look at Futurecast and talk about the tropics all in a few minutes.
Melissa, thank you. Well, this morning, new developments and the tensions with Iran. President Donald Trump says he's canceling attacks against Iran for now. Our Washington correspondent, Jackie DeFusco, joins us live. And Jackie, the president is reporting progress on a deal.
Tia, that's right. President Trump says that Iran and other Middle Eastern countries asked him to hold off on any further attacks because he said that the parameters of a deal have been agreed to. He added in that social media post, quote, "This would include the immediate, complete, and total opening of the Hormuz Strait and an end to Iran's nuclear threat." Now, additional details weren't immediately available. Iran has not yet commented on these developments, but this marks just the latest pivot in this 5-month-long war. On Friday, even, the president had been vowing to hit Iran very hard. He expressed growing doubts about diplomacy at that time as previous agreements had come up short. And before his Saturday night post, the State Department even told Americans in the Middle East to actually consider leaving the region in case of an escalation. Kuwait, home to U.S. military bases, said that it responded to a new round of Iranian drone attacks, while a tanker was struck in the Strait of Hormuz as well, that crucial oil shipping route. Attacks like this have caused gas prices to rise once again in recent weeks, which of course is keeping cost of living top of mind for many Americans ahead of high-stakes midterm elections here in the U.S. this fall, Tia.
And Jackie, before we let you go, what do polls reveal about where the American public stands on the war and those rising costs?
Yeah, Tia, so one new poll from AP Nork Center found that 2/3 of Americans say that the Iran war has not been worthwhile in their view. In that same poll, about 7 in 10 adults said that it was extremely or very important for the U.S. To prevent domestic oil and gas prices from rising, as we've seen in connection with this war. Another new poll from Politico hones in on the views of self-identified MAGA voters specifically, and what they found is that in their latest poll, just over 1/3 of those, again, self-identified MAGA voters felt that the economic cost of the war with Iran was worth it. That is down from the 50% of those voters who said it was worth it back in May. Back to you.
Some important information, Jackie. Thank you so much for that live report. Well, this morning, 5 people are facing charges, according to Savannah police, in connection with last week's shooting that left 3 people injured. Between yesterday and today, the suspects, Jaquan Cooper, Caleb Deddy, Jamari Fields, Keontae Williams, and Johan Arena Vasquez, were arrested. Officers responded to a shot spatter alert on Fellwood Drive, July 25th. 3 people were shot, all suffering non-life-threatening leg injuries. An occupied vehicle and a home were also damaged by gunfire. All suspects have been charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault. Well, Georgia Democrats visited Savannah Saturday with November on their minds. At the party's state convention, leaders worked to mobilize their base and lay out their strategy for the fall election. Democrats say they're leading with a message of affordability and broadening candidates' reach beyond the party. After Democratic wins in 2025 and high primary turnout in May, leaders say they believe candidates have a winning message. They're hoping to accomplish what the party hasn't in over 20 years, elect a Democratic governor here in Georgia.
Democrats that are focusing on that, focusing on what they can do to make people's lives better and to expand that opportunity, they're going to find success. Just as important as it is to increase margins in a Clayton County or a Fulton County or Chatham County, it is also very important to cut into margins in Effingham County, and in Long County. You're cutting into margins and you're losing by, instead of 75-25, you're losing 70-30. That matters a lot.
Party leaders say gubernatorial candidate Keisha Lance Bottoms must make her experience part of her pitch.
She understands people. She understands from the bottom to the top, government.
Republicans have held the governor's office for more than 2 decades. Democrats say winning it back will require competing in every region. And now to South Carolina Commitment 2026 news, where veterans and military families sat down with Democratic congressional candidate Nancy LaCour in Beaufort Saturday evening. WJCL 22 News' Grace Rodriguez reports from the campaign stop.
I'm just excited to be in a room full of mostly veterans.
LaCour met with veterans and military families in Beaufort Saturday to discuss the issues affecting them most.
I think within that cost of living, it's healthcare and housing. Huge problem for a lot of people. And then, of course, the war. The war with Iran is top of mind.
The event at Gilligan's Seafood Restaurant also featured Ann Shippey, a Democratic candidate for the South Carolina House, hoping to represent those in Beaufort County. The candidates outlined priorities ranging from data center development and utility costs to accountability in Washington.
The first thing I will do when I'm in the House is put a moratorium on data centers.
I am a career military officer. My allegiance is to the Constitution. I will stand up to the corruption that is in D.C.
LaCour says that her experience as a veteran gives her the edge in this race. As she says, a lot of people in this district are either veterans or active duty members who will relate to her story.
Both candidates say they're prepared to serve in office because of their previous work in government.
I've already operated at the federal level. I've worked with Congress, but I did so in a very nonpartisan way.
I served 5 years at the Pentagon. I did legislation and policy writing.
Voters will decide both races on November 3rd. In Beaufort, Grace Rodriguez, WJCL 22 News.
Grace, thank you. And to learn more about the candidates and prepare for the upcoming election, just visit our South Carolina voter guide on our website, WJCL.com. And on the other side of the aisle, GOP candidates for the South Carolina special Senate election were in Columbia. It was billed as a, quote, stump stop. And those on the agenda, Senator Darlene Graham, Glenda Gale Parker, Congressman Russell Fry, former governor and Congressman Mark Sanford, Duke Buckner, Congressman Ralph North, Mark Lynch, Mark McBride, and Dr. Samuel Shepard. And the event provided voters the opportunity to hear directly from the GOP candidates seeking to represent South Carolina in the United States Senate. Senator Darlene Graham spoke at the event, standing by President Trump's agenda.
I'm here today because I'm answering President Trump's call to serve. I want to stand up for South Carolina, and I want to fight for President Trump's agenda. Like I said, I'm not a politician, but like Lindsay, I am a hard worker with a servant's heart.
The event was hosted in part by Republican gubernatorial nominee Alan Wilson.
I faced the shooter head on, and he pointed the gun at me, and I ducked behind a white car just to have some sort of coverage. I saw a pistol on a gun case, so I grabbed the gun and I pulled it back. It was jammed, so I just felt helpless.
What you just heard there was a witness describing what she experienced during the shooting that left at least 3 people dead and 2 injured in Twin Falls, Idaho yesterday. Officials say it began inside an In-N-Out restaurant in a busy commercial area on the city's north side. Police say the shooter is dead and all shelter-in-place orders have been lifted. Investigators believe there was one active shooter and are working to identify others who may have been involved. There's been no word on a possible motive. Well, overnight milling and paving for the Benton Boulevard resurfacing project has begun. The project covers over 2 miles from Pooler city limits to Highlands Boulevard. And work hours on the project will run from Sundays through Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. and Fridays and Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Construction is expected to last up to 4 weeks, so expect temporary lane closures and minor traffic delays.
Let's keep talking about traffic, Tia. Some of those roads might be wet for you as you're getting out, especially up in the Beaufort area. But as we take a look there at Victory and Skidaway, you got it all to yourself. Guarantee it won't look like that very much longer. If you're heading out to the island, oh, that is not what that camera should look like right now. It's a very quiet start out at Tybee, and not even going to take you 20 minutes if you want to head out there.
Melissa, thank you. Well, coming up after the break, a wildfire is spreading quickly in parts of Washington. Why officials have issued the highest level evacuation for several communities. Plus, new developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Why investigators say they're still actively pursuing leads 6 months later.
We are looking live from O.C. Welch Ford and Hardyville, 278 in the distance. Very quiet for you. It's also cloudy as you're getting out. Some of us have already seen some showers, and shower and storm chances, they're increasing. I'm going to have the details right after this. But check out that certified most accurate forecast no matter where you are. All you need is the WJCL 22 News app.
Your news, weather, and Savannah's hottest hits on Hot 98.3. Now, your Storm Tracker 22 forecast, certified most accurate by WeatherRate.
We've got clouds across the area. You can see it from Tybee Island to downtown Savannah and up into the low country today. Some of us have seen more than just clouds. We've already had some passing showers. We all have the heat and humidity though, feeling like you're in the low 80s out at the coastline. You've got those mid to upper 70s for everybody else as you're walking out the door. And today, another sticky one, 91. well, actually a degree below where we are for this time of year, but feeling like 105. And we've had a few passing showers, like I said, already today. But as we get into that second half of the day, we go from just a 20% this morning up to a 40 and then increasing to a 60 for late afternoon into the early evening. And then those rain chances, they'll start to go down as we get in the overnight hours. But right now, a lot of us just seeing some light shower activity, except up in Beaufort. You've already had a bit of a soaker, and today going to be very common. So if you're planning on getting together with friends and family this afternoon, see those darker colors? That's the heavy downpour potential, and that moisture just coming up from the Gulf. Well, it's going to keep those shower chances ramping up and coming across the area. And tomorrow we're going to have more of the same heavy downpours. Localized flooding is going to be a concern with this, where we do have some of those pockets that produce a lot of rain. You could hear some rumbles of thunder and possibly even have some damaging winds, and it's going to be a bit on the breezy side today. So if you're thinking about getting out to the coast early today, well, not only do we have those breezy conditions, but it's caused a small craft advisory and a moderate risk for rip currents. One place we're not worried about storms, well, good news. In the tropics, things are nice and quiet in the next 7 days. That is exactly how we expect them to stay. Staying in the low 90s here at home with those overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s in the inland areas. Now, Tia, today, I need more caffeine, my friend. Today, going to be the best chance of seeing showers, but as you look at this forecast, we got a chance every single day. Even out at the coastline, you're going to keep those rain chances around, mainly afternoon and evening hours. But we've already seen some of that activity on the radar for you to start your Sunday morning. Temperatures for you holding steady in the mid to upper 80s, but Tia, feeling like it's in the triple digits.